Hello. If we haven't met before, my name is David Roach, and I'm the Awana missionary in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I wanted to do this breakout to help churches who maybe you're starting to have some more kids coming back to ministry, and you're really starting to look forward to the fall and getting everybody back together and how we can do something now to be making sure that fall launch is as good as it can be. I like this imagery of priming the pump. Just what can we do now? Because if we try and get that lawnmower in the fall, we just try and crank it up without having done any priming, it's probably not going to go right the first time. We're going to have to do a couple more goes at it. So what can we be doing now? And so I wanted to share some ideas that will hopefully reach a variety of different churches and a variety of different places where you are in your ministry. So maybe if you haven't been able to do a whole lot with Awana since March of 2020, maybe something's come up in the last 12 months that's hindered that. It might be as simple as just being able to hit play right where you stopped in March. So maybe you could just basically time warp and keep everybody pretty much right where they were in their books and just pick up right where you left off. You might decide you want to do the entrance booklets again. You could do that. But we could do something right after Easter and still get 6, 8, maybe 10 weeks of ministry in. So that would be an option if you wanted to do a spring semester of Awana, pretty much starting up right where you left off in 2020. Maybe you're not quite ready to do something every week with Awana, but maybe you wanted to meet every other week or once a month. Maybe you wanted to continue on into the summer to try and start to get that mentality of, hey, time to come back to church. We've got stuff going on. So that's another option for you. So doing Awana, but doing it maybe a little less frequently, but continuing on into the summer and getting everyone ready for a big fall kickoff. You also might be able to use Bright. Maybe you decide that, we're not sure about having each age group specifically. We're not sure about having the preschoolers all together and the K2 group together and the grades 3 through 6 together. We just want to have something for the kids. And so we're just going to do something that's more generic, and Bright would really fit that model where it's written to a wider age range. So you could have all of your kids together for one lesson, have a key verse for everybody, and do ministry, but not have all of the segments and the age-specific handbook. So if you're interested in Bright, you could take a look at the brightcurriculum.com website, and there's some sample lessons there that you could take a look at. So maybe that's a feasible option there for you to look at. And maybe whether or not you're meeting, within Awana or you still have kids at home, maybe you could look into doing a Versathon, something where kids say as many Bible verses as they can, and they get pledges, maybe from family, friends, maybe the church could just say, every verse the kids in the Awana Club recite, we're going to donate 20, 25, 50 cents, something like that, a verse. And the money that's then earned could go toward a local ministry or missionary that the church supports. So the kids are memorizing Bible verses. You could even have them memorizing the verses that they would have learned in Awana this year. So there's listings of those verses on the awanaplus.com site, but they could really do any Bible verses that they want. So the kids are memorizing verses, the money's going to a good cause. So Versathon is a win-win that can be done in person or from the homes too. And you may want to have some other ideas. We don't want to just jump in and do everything. So don't try and do everything that's listed here, but maybe this gets your creative juices flowing a little bit. People are more likely to come to church when there's a thing, when there's an event, something that's going to draw them in. So maybe once or twice a month, you do something special throughout the summer. I know our typical Awana method of operations is we kind of take the summers off. I think it's fair to say that we're in unusual times. I think to get our fall ministry as strong as it can be, we're going to need to do some stuff over the summer. And it's not going to be participated in by everybody, but it's going to be that good reminder every so often that, hey, remember, we're coming back to church. Remember, we're coming back to church. And all of these things can be getting people into that mindset of, in the fall, we're going to hit the ground running and we're going to do this. So maybe these ideas can give you something to think about. Maybe there's some other creative ways that you want to engage with the families. I like the idea of tying it into the Olympics, maybe there at the bottom with having some sort of a competition, have a series of events. Maybe you have a canned food drive event. Maybe you have a fun run event. These could be different events so the kids, see how many steps they take, or canned food items they bring in. So you could announce the winner at your fall launch. So you could be building up the anticipation all summer. for this Olympics tie-in event, since we're going to have a Summer Olympics hopefully in 2021. So I hope these can give you some ideas, some ways that you can prime the pump for your ministry. And thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video and for all you do for the children and youth there in your church. God bless.